Welcome back to the Explainer. Okay, today we are jumping straight into a topic that is absolutely crucial for any founder, executive, or leader out there. We're looking at a piece titled Architecting Your Advisory Board. And honestly, I just love that specific word choice, architecting, right? Because building a top-tier, high-functioning advisory board, it's not just about randomly asking people you know for favors over coffee. No, it requires real, deep intention. It requires strategic alignment and careful design. Think of a well-architected board as this incredible force multiplier for your business. It unlocks diverse expertise, vital industry networks, and, maybe most importantly, that totally unvarnished feedback you almost never get from your own internal team. So let's just dig right into the blueprint for how to actually make this happen. Okay, let's dive into this. The source material opens with a really straightforward directive right off the bat. Connect with our advisory board. Now, if you actually already have a board sitting there, this is all about active strategic utilization. You see, way too many leaders assemble this brilliant room of minds and then they only interact with them during a formal quarterly check-in, or worse, when a massive crisis hits. But true connection, it means baking their expertise right into your regular strategic rhythm. It means actively picking up the phone to, say, pressure test a totally new product idea, or asking for a key introduction, or seeking guidance on a really tough personnel decision. Your board is this dynamic, living resource, and getting real value out of it requires constant, proactive engagement from you.
But all of that completely assumes the structure is already there, just waiting to be tapped into. What if it isn't? I mean, what if you are scaling incredibly fast, making these massive, high-stakes decisions every single day, and you just plain don't have an advisory board yet? Honestly, this is a super common scenario. It happens a lot, especially for early-stage founders or newly promoted executives who've been moving like a million miles an hour just to keep the lights on. If you find yourself in this exact position, relying solely on your own echo chamber or just the limited perspective of your immediate direct reports, well, the playbook here demands a really sharp pivot in your priorities.
You absolutely have to start recruiting, period. This is not one of those things you can just push to the back burner until next quarter. Identifying and bringing on the right advisors has to be treated with the exact same rigor and urgency as hiring a critical C-level executive. So what does recruiting actually look like in this context? Well, first, you got to identify your strategic blind spots. Do you need deep go-to-market expertise? Are you looking for help navigating some crazy regulatory maze? Or maybe you just need someone who has actually successfully scaled a company from 10 million to 50 million in revenue and knows the pitfalls. Once you figure out exactly what gaps you need to fill, you have to actively hunt down those specific veterans, pitch them on your vision, and formally lock their voices into your leadership architecture.
Because here's the thing, building an effective advisory board does not happen by accident. No way. It takes totally deliberate effort to figure out the expertise you lack, actively recruit those individuals, and then intentionally weave their insights into how you make decisions. Which brings us to one final, absolutely critical question. So who is architecting yours? Think about it. If you aren't out there taking the lead on deliberately designing your own support system, well, nobody else is going to step in and do it for you. Your business is really only going to grow as fast as your ability to navigate new challenges. Having the right minds in your corner, that is simply the best way to accelerate that journey. So it's time to take an honest assessment of your current structure, answer that call to recruit the talent you are missing, and start architecting.